welcome back. So tonight, super easy. We're gonna make a homemade vodka sauce. So to start off, just so for the sake of time, I have 1 stick of butter in here that's melted. You can, I'm just gonna pull it off. I didn't want us to have to wait all the time for that. You could probably do a half a stick. I do one. Cannot use margarine. Don't use anything else but regular butter. Don't even think of just putting oil in it. It's just gonna separate. It's gonna be a hot holy mess. So I have a stick of butter in there. And then what I have here is 1 shallot. And this is about 6 cloves of garlic. And I put it in my trusty Cuisinart. Because again, what I've said before is the finer the chop, the more flavor that's gonna come out. And then what I use is, this is the Tutto Rosso tomato sauce. So what is good about this is it's just literally plain tomatoes. There is no seasoning, there is absolutely nothing in it, and that's what you want. So you could buy a plain jarred tomato sauce. You don't have to do this all from scratch. You know, you can call this a cheetah version. But if you just buy the plain sauce, you're gonna flavor it. And this is what I find works best. So I'm gonna do this, base this on 2 cans, because tomorrow he's getting chicken parm. So I'm gonna use the 2 cans of this, the famous locatelli. And then we have the squeezed parsley, which I like to use a little. This is totally optional if you want to put fresh parsley in. I just kind of like it. Then I have the heavy cream, and it has to be heavy whipping cream. You don't want half and half, you don't want milk, it has to be heavy whipping cream. And then the piece de resistance, vodka. Any type will work. I'm a Tito's drinker, so I'm gonna use my Tito's. So what we're gonna do is, and I'll show you, now that the butter is pretty much melted in here, what I wanna do is saute all of this, the shallots and the garlic, so that it gets to the point, again, where it starts to look a little bit on the translucent side. So it's probably gonna take you maybe a good 5 minutes, if that. And remember from past lessons, do not burn the garlic, because if it's bitter, forget it. Your sauce is done. It's gonna taste horrible. So we're gonna let this cook a little bit. I don't add any salt because I'm putting in the locatelli cheese again. So we're gonna push that aside. I do add some pepper. I'm kind of not a pepper fan. Terrence is, but I just put a little bit in here. So there's really not that much. And then I'll mix that all through. I can already smell the garlic and the shallots combining. And you can see, this is, again, the base of your sauce. It smells incredible right now. And I'm gonna let that go a little bit. And then for parsley, I'm gonna say, you can see what it is. This is squeeze. I know you also have this up in New York. So it's a stir and paste parsley. And it's just regular parsley. And I'm gonna give it a little squeeze. I'm gonna mix that all through again to make sure that it gets really incorporated. And there you go. So you can start to see how it's looking. You can see the difference from when I first put it in to now. So it's really starting to flavor the butter that's in there. This is so easy, you're not even gonna believe. This will take you less than 10 minutes, seriously. So say this cooks for about a good 5 minutes. We're gonna jump forward, and then you're gonna add your 2 containers of sauce. This is actually, how many is? 28 ounces, 1 pound, 12 ounce. So I'm gonna pour that in. I'm gonna pour that in. And then you're gonna wanna let it come up to a boil again, which may take a little bit. And we're gonna get this all stirred into the sauce to get it all really, again, incorporated. What I could do now while I'm waiting for this, I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. I had it on a medium heat for the butter, the garlic, and the shallot because I didn't wanna burn. But now that the sauce is in there, I'm gonna crank it up a little higher because we want it to come to a boil again. So this is where you go, how much booze do I add? How much vodka? So basically, since this is, I'm using two 20-ounce cans. The last time I did it, I'm going to continue with this, I did 4 ounces. The flavor of the alcohol will burn off, so you basically want a half a cup of vodka. You can use whatever vodka you want. I'm using the good stuff, and I'm just going to measure out a half a cup. You can use a little more if you want, based on taste. And then what I do usually with the heavy cream, the more you put in, the lighter the sauce is going to be, but I don't want it to be like completely really pale. So what I do is I match the vodka portion to the heavy cream. So I did 4 ounces of vodka the last time I did this, and I'm going to start off with 4 ounces of the heavy cream. So like this is starting to come to a boil again. You can see we're going to mix that all through. So if this was in a full-blown boil, put up the heat a little bit more, you would see it. And then you're just simply going to pour the vodka in. Again, it's not going to taste like alcohol. It just, when you taste all of this together at the end, you'll completely understand what I'm saying. But it's really not, you know, you're not going to be like, oh, I can't eat that. It's totally not like that. So again, you're going to want this to come up to a boil. This is seriously, people, less than 10 minutes to do this. So now it's starting to come up again. Again, figure the vodka be in. I would say let it cook for about another good 5 minutes. Make sure it comes up to a boil. And then you're going to add your heavy cream. So I'm going to do 4 ounces at first. And you could tell by the color whether or not you like it. I think I actually did a little more the last time I made it. So you're really going to stir this in to get it all incorporated. And I have I'm only cranking up my heat just so this cooks faster. You want the color also to be uniform. If you look at it now, see how it's like all different striations there? You don't want that. You want it all to look the same way. So as I'm really mixing this through, I want to see it pretty much mostly the same color. Now, to me, this looks good. If you always remember that less is more, you're better off starting in small quantities than putting the whole thing in, because you can always put in, but you can't take out. So I actually now, as I'm looking at this more as it's cooking, I'm thinking the color looks pretty good. Maybe just a dab more. And again, that was really hard for me to use a measuring cup because I don't use measuring cups. I'm just going to put like a little bit more in there. Here we go, we're mixing it all through again. With heavy cream, a little bit goes a long way. So like I said, just do it in little increments at the time, because you don't want the vodka sauce to be like completely pale and like white. Ugh, it's gonna have no taste whatsoever. And it's already smelling good, and it's not even in the boil. And then, my favorite, the Holy Grail, the locatelli. So, also too, people have asked me, if you've gotten it and it's got these big clumps in here, it's just because it's been in the refrigerator. I literally just put my fingers in there and I just break it down. So for locatelli cheese, with me, I always just do a big handful and then I adjust to taste. So we're gonna mix this through again. And what's happening now with the heavy cream, the sauce is starting to thicken. So we're gonna make sure all this cheese is in. You might see some of these little lumps and bumps like I have here. That's just they're here. That's the cheese that came out of there. It'll eventually disintegrate, so you don't have to worry about it. And it's all mixed in. You can really see the color. Like, to me, this looks really good. I like the color, and it's coming to a boil again. So let me, excuse me, babe, I want to get a spoon. I'm going to take a little test, but the master has to do the final taste. So good. So good. So easy. It's done. I mean, I don't even think that was less than 10 minutes. So now, Terrence is going to give you the taste test, And this is a must if you're having vodka sauce, and you'll understand why. So we're gonna switch the camera. Give me that, please. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So there's the end of the sauce. You can see the color, and it's coming to a boil. And he's getting ready, people. What we have is 1 loaf of semolina bread. And he's going to do his famous dunk. Please don't drip on my floor. Take that plate back there.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
How forward.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
It's good?
Very good.
Okay, you can keep eating. So, actually put that down so I can give you the camera back. Sorry, people. Put the bread down, it's not going anywhere. Okay, so you can see it now how it's really, really bubbling. You don't want this to burn because of the heavy cream that's in there. So to me, it's done. It's literally done. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it off the heat. I'm gonna let it sit. You're done. Super easy. So I hope you make it and like it. 10-minute meal, very easy. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and manja.